All right, hey everyone, ready to plant some seeds of knowledge.
Always ready.
Today we're taking a deep dive into Farming Simulator 25. It drops November 12th.
Not long now.
The devs have been dropping some awesome articles and blog posts,
Yeah, really cool insights.
teasing all these new features and content. So we're going to break it all down
Sure
for
thing.
both the seasoned virtual farmers
Right.
and the newbies just hitching up their tractors for the first time.
Should be fun.
Now, let me tell you, there's a lot to cover.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking new maps, crops, animals, gameplay mechanics, even a cool way to start your virtual tractor
Wait, really?
with real keys.
No way.
Yeah, it's in the collector's edition, but we'll get to that later.
Okay.
First, just to get you hooked, imagine growing rice in flooded fields,
Ooh.
herding goats with 360-degree vision,
Wow.
and watching the ground deform under your tractor's tires.
Ground deformation. That's a big one.
Yeah, they're really upping the realism this time around.
I'm impressed.
Okay, so let's start with this ground deformation because it's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah. Break it down for us.
So remember how in the older games the ground was, like, always the same?
Yeah. Drove over it a million times. No difference.
Exactly. But in FS25, the terrain actually reacts to your vehicle.
Oh, wow.
Weight, movement, the whole shebang.
So what, like you'll see tire tracks and ruts?
Oh, yeah. And it's not just visual. It actually affects gameplay.
Okay, how so?
Think about plowing a field after a rainstorm. The ground's soft, right?
Yeah.
Your tractor's going to dig in deeper, make it harder to steer.
Ah, makes sense.
So you got to adapt, maybe use a lighter tractor, wait for things to dry out.
So tire choice matters even more now.
Absolutely. Some tires will dig in more than others. It's all about, like, choosing the right equipment for the job and conditions.
That adds a whole new level of strategy.
Totally. And if you love exploring vast, beautiful landscapes,
Always a plus.
FS25's got 2 brand new maps for you to get lost in.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
First up, we've got Hutan Pantai.
Hutan Pantai, what's that like?
It's this East Asian-inspired environment. Blends serene countryside with a bustling city vibe.
Sounds like a nice contrast.
You can stroll through a village that feels straight out of a Studio Ghibli film
Oh, cool.
with rice paddies and those traditional houses.
Very atmospheric.
Then you could zip over to the city,
Okay.
which was actually inspired by places like Seoul and Tokyo.
Wow, so we're talking neon lights, busy streets.
Yeah, lots of energy. And then there were these serene temple grounds, too,
Oh, wow.
inspired by K-dramas, apparently.
I really did their research.
Seriously. They even looked at specific details like how the power lines are set up in those regions.
That's dedication.
And then we've got the second map, Riverbend Springs.
Okay, what's the vibe there?
Think classic Americana. Senior level designer Florian Buss, he described it as a celebration of water.
Celebration of water, huh?
Yeah. You got a huge winding river, creeks, streams, even a ferry to transport vehicles and goods.
Sounds very picturesque.
It is. They've got piers, jetties, houseboats bobbing on the river.
Like something out of a Mark Twain novel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And with the new water physics in FS25, those waterways are going to be more than just pretty scenery.
Yeah, you could probably do some cool stuff with them.
Absolutely. And both of these new maps have unique construction projects, too,
Oh, cool.
which adds another layer to the gameplay.
I like that. Keeps things interesting.
So in Riverbend Springs, you can help restore a historic wagon builder.
A wagon builder. Interesting.
It's called Silver Shaft Wagons, established back in 1904.
Wow. A real blast from the past.
Yeah. And then in Hutan Pantai, they've got this massive temple grounds restoration project.
So it's not just about farming, it's about being part of the community.
Exactly.
Nice.
It's about restoring these iconic landmarks, leaving your mark on the landscape.
I love that. Adds a real sense of purpose.
Right. And speaking of purpose, let's talk about the new crops coming to FS25.
All right, hit me with the harvest.
Okay, so, drumroll please.
Drumroll sound.
We've got rice.
Finally.
I know, right? It's been a long time coming. And there are 2 varieties to get familiar with.
2. Okay, tell me more.
We've got classic rice, grown in flooded fields.
Just like you'd imagine.
Yep. And then there's long grain rice, which requires a different approach.
Oh, how so?
You actually sow it dry and then flood the paddy afterwards.
Interesting. So it's a bit more technical.
It is. And the rice paddies themselves are beautiful. They really captured that look and feel of flooded fields with the water reflections and everything.
Sounds stunning.
It is. And they've even got these awesome new machines for planting, harvesting, and processing rice.
Oh, I bet the modders are going to have a field day with those.
For sure. But rice isn't the only new crop coming to town. We're also getting green beans.
Green beans.
Yeah, peas and spinach.
Wow, getting specific.
I know, right? But that's the level of detail they're going for in FS25.
I gotta say, it's impressive.
And you're not just growing these for selling either. You can deliver them to factories to start production chains.
Oh, cool. So you could, like, turn your peas into canned goods?
Exactly, or frozen vegetables, all sorts of stuff. It adds a whole new layer to the farm economy.
It's like you're becoming a master of these specific crops,
All right.
understanding all the nuances of growing them and processing them.
And of course, you're going to need the right tools for the job. They've introduced a bunch of specialized equipment,
Like what?
like the OXBO BP2140E harvester for green beans, the OXBO EPD 540E for peas, and the OXBO MKB4TR for spinach.
Wow, they really went all out.
Seriously, it's that attention to detail that makes farming simulators so immersive. It's not just about driving a tractor, it's about mastering the entire agricultural process.
I'm loving it already. You know, all this talk about crops is making me hungry.
Me too. But before we grab a snack, we got to talk about the livestock.
Oh, right, the animals. Can't forget about them.
Yeah, exactly. Farming Simulator wouldn't be the same without them. And FS25 is bringing some exciting new additions to the barnyard.
Ooh, lay it on me.
First up, we've got the mighty water buffalo.
Water buffalo, huh? Interesting.
They're perfect for that Hutan Pantai map, with the hot and humid climate.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They're great milk producers.
Oh, nice.
And they graze on fields just like the real deal.
So they fit right into the ecosystem.
Exactly. And get this, the devs really went all out with the details.
Like what?
They studied real water buffalo
No.
to make sure the animations and behaviors are super realistic.
That's awesome.
You can practically see the mud caking on their hides when they wallow in the water.
Now that's immersive.
Right. And if you're looking for something a little more playful on your farm,
Okay, I'm intrigued.
get ready for it. Goats.
Goats. Adorable, but are they, like, useful?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, good.
First of all, they've got those unique rectangular pupils, right?
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Gives them near 360-degree vision.
Wow, so they can see everything.
Pretty much. So no sneaky foxes getting past these guys.
That's cool, a natural security system.
And their milk can be used to make goat cheese.
Ooh, that's a nice touch.
Right. So you can add another delicious element to your production chains.
Imagine setting up a little goat cheese operation on your farm, using your crops to feed the goats.
Yeah, and then turning their milk into artisan cheeses.
It's all about creating that thriving farm ecosystem.
Totally. And to help you manage that ecosystem, they've made some serious improvements to the AI workers.
Oh, good, because sometimes those guys could be a bit unreliable.
You said it. Remember when they'd go rogue and plow through your neighbor's crops?
Oh, yeah, or get stuck in a ditch somewhere.
Not anymore. They completely overhauled the system.
So what's different now?
Well, you can customize their settings, just like the GPS.
Oh, cool. So you have more control over what they do?
Exactly. You set their working width,
Uh-huh.
tell them whether to work the headlands or just use them for turning. Even instruct them to skiff lines if you want to operate your own machinery in between.
So it's like having a team of skilled farmhands who actually listen to you.
Exactly. No more rogue tractors.
That's a relief. And speaking of tractors, what about that GPS-driven steering assist I've been hearing about?
Oh, that's a game changer.
Tell me everything.
No more wonky lines or uneven fields. Every tractor in the game can be equipped with a GPS system that guides your steering.
No way, every tractor.
Yep, from those vintage models to the latest and greatest machines.
So no more driving like I've had one too many glasses of virtual apple cider.
Exactly. This GPS keeps you on the straight and narrow, ensuring those perfectly straight lines and efficient field coverage.
That's going to save so much time and effort.
And it's not just a simple on-off switch either.
Okay, so what else can you do with it?
You can customize a bunch of settings to fit your farming style.
Like what?
You can set your working width, the number of headlands you want,
Uh-huh.
even the side offset for those tricky tools with attachments.
So you can really fine-tune it to your needs.
It's like having a virtual co-pilot who knows exactly what you're trying to achieve.
That's awesome. But you're still in control, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
The GPS shows you the lines on the field in real time, so you can see exactly where you need to go.
Okay, that's good.
There's even a ready indicator on the dashboard so you know when you're perfectly aligned to start working.
It's all about that balance between simulation and gameplay, realism, and fun.
Exactly. And they've added a bunch of other quality of life improvements too.
Oh, like what?
Well, for example, hand tools like chainsaws are now independent items.
Makes sense.
You can store them, share them, even attach them to certain forestry machines.
No more magically appearing chainsaws.
Nope. And then there's the change to bale wrapping.
Oh, yeah. What'd they do?
You now need to purchase foil or net wraps, just like in real life.
So no more unlimited bale wrapping.
Afraid not. Adds a bit more challenge and realism.
I like it. Makes you think more strategically about your resources.
And they even partner with Ronnie Plast to introduce their Ronnie Wrap stretch films into the game.
Wow, they're really going all out with the details.
They are. And speaking of details, if you're looking for even more authenticity,
Okay.
you might want to consider splurging on the collector's edition.
Oh, yeah, the one with the real keys?
That's the one. It comes with this physical USB ignition lock that you can actually use to start your vehicles in the game.
So you literally turn a key to fire up your virtual tractor.
Yep. Next level immersion.
That's so cool.
Right. And beyond the gameplay mechanics, they've also added some fun little extras.
Like what?
Well, there are these crop orbs scattered around the Hutan Pantai map.
Crop orbs? What are those?
They're like collectibles.
Oh.
Once you've restored the temple grounds, you can display your collection there.
That's a fun little touch.
Right. It's a little side quest for those who like to explore every nook and cranny.
I like it. And what about those town projects and construction opportunities we were talking about?
Oh yeah, those are pretty cool. In Riverbend Springs, there's this massive playground project.
Playground project.
Yeah. It's going to take multiple stages and a ton of resources to complete.
Sounds like a challenge.
It is. And you can actually chat with Grandpa Walter and Noah, some of the NPCs,
Right.
to get more insights into the project and its significance for the community.
So it's not just about building a structure, it's about being part of the town's history.
Exactly. And then over in Hutan Pantai, besides that Temple Grounds restoration, you can also help create the Grain Elevator Museum.
Grain Elevator Museum.
It's this cool blend of old and new, preserving the region's agricultural heritage.
That's awesome. It's like they're encouraging players to learn about the history of farming while they're playing the game.
I know, right? And of course, you can build your own house and barn, just like in the previous games.
Always a classic.
But this time, you can't just buy them outright.
Oh, what's different?
You got to gather the resources first, adds another layer of planning.
Makes you work for it.
And once the construction's finished, you can invite your multiplayer friends to check it out.
Oh, that's cool. Show off your hard work.
Exactly. Speaking of multiplayer, that's a whole other aspect of the game we could dive into.
Yeah, another time.
But before we move on, I'm curious, what stands out to you as the most exciting feature in FS25?
Ooh, that's a tough one. There's so much to be excited about.
I know, right?
The ground deformation is definitely a game changer.
For sure.
But I'm also loving the attention to detail they've put into the new maps and livestock.
Yeah, those goats are definitely going to be a fan favorite.
Absolutely.
But for me, I think it's the combination of all these new features and the overall sense of immersion they've created.
I agree. It feels like they've really taken Farming Simulator to the next level.
Definitely. And we haven't even talked about the Giants Engine 10 yet.
Oh, right. The engine behind it all.
Exactly. That's a crucial part of the FS25 experience. So I want to dive into that.
Let's do it. Yeah, the Giants Engine 10, it's the heart of the game, really.
Keeps everything running smoothly.
And looking good.
Exactly. So what have they done with it for FS25?
Well, they've really focused on enhancing the visuals and physics.
Makes sense. More immersive experience, right?
Exactly. They
Yeah.
added distance fog, for example.
Oh, cool. So landscapes will have more depth, more atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly. And the shadows are improved too, making everything look more three-dimensional.
That's always a good thing.
And the dynamic weather effects are going to be incredible. Imagine experiencing a full-blown thunderstorm
Oh, wow.
with rolling clouds and dramatic lightning.
Ooh, those lightning strikes illuminating the fields at night.
Yeah, going to be epic.
And it's not just about the visuals, right? The physics have been improved, too.
Absolutely. Everything's been enhanced.
Give us some examples.
Well, the way vehicles handle, the movement of crops in the wind.
It's like they've taken every aspect of the game and made it more realistic.
More engaging, too.
And they've optimized the engine for modding. Can't forget about the
Yes.
modders.
That community is amazing, always pushing the boundaries of the game. And with the enhanced modding capabilities in FS25, who knows what they'll come up with.
New tractors, equipment, crops, maps. The possibilities are endless.
I can't wait to see what they create.
Me too. And just a reminder, FS25 will be available on PC, Mac, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series XS.
So pretty much everyone can join in on the fun.
Exactly. All right, before we wrap things up, what are your overall impressions of Farming Simulator 25 based on everything we've discussed?
Honestly, I'm blown away. The ambition, the scope of this game, It's truly impressive.
I agree.
They've taken everything we loved about the previous games and taken it to a whole new level.
It feels like they really listened to the community.
Yeah, and focused on delivering an experience that's both immersive and fun.
Exactly. So for our listeners out there, what kind of farm are you going to create in Farming Simulator 25?
Will you embrace those tranquil rice paddies in Hutan Pantai? Master the art of flooded field cultivation?
Or maybe head to Riverbend Springs. Build a sprawling farm along the banks of that majestic river, complete with a herd of playful goats.
Don't forget, you can even grab the collector's edition and fire up your tractors with real keys.
Imagine that satisfying click as you turn the key and hear that engine roar to life.
The possibilities are endless.
So mark your calendars, everyone. November 12th is the big day.
Get those controllers ready.
And prepare to dive into the most immersive and feature-rich farming simulator experience yet.
Happy farming, everyone!
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Farming Simulator 25. We'll see you next time.